Alright, so right now, Gemma 4 is probably one of the best local AI models that you can download and run locally on your machine. And also, this model has a multimodal capability, which means it can accept some input formats like text, images, and even audios. In fact, one prominent feature of the Gemma 4 model is actually named audio understanding. So that means you can use this model to understand the speech or recording files, and you can even use it to summarize your meeting recordings, for example. So this is a feature that we are going to talk about in this video. Now, if you want to use a local AI model like Gemma 4, for example, usually I would recommend people to use LM Studio because this is a very popular tool to discover some new AI models and, of course, run them locally on your computer. But at the moment, even though you can run the Gemma 4 models, if you upload, let's say, an audio file, you won't be able to get anything. Sure, you can upload audio file, but this format, the MP3 file, is not being recognized by this application. So you cannot use LM Studio for utilizing the audio understanding capability of the Gemma 4 model, even though that model has that feature to actually extract the information from the audio file. So instead, we need to use a different tool. And right now, the easiest path to actually get this audio understanding feature for Gemma 4 is by using an app called OpenWebUI. So my recommendation is to navigate to Open Google and then search for OpenWebUI Desktop. And then you will see this GitHub page. You can open it. So this is just a way to install OpenWebUI in the easiest way possible. So OpenWebUI is very similar to your typical AI chatbot like ChatGPT. It has a nice interface and also it has plenty of features. Again, quite similar to your typical and very popular AI chatbot like Claude, Gemini, and ChatGPT. So you can download OpenWebUI via this GitHub page, and also it is just a lot simpler than the traditional method because it's just one-click install. Now, after that, you can launch the program and it should open this URL on your browser, and you might want to create a local account and then log in, and then you see something that look like this. So at the moment, there is no model whatsoever. You cannot chat with your local AI model. So if you want to use the model from LM Studio via the nice UI of OpenWebUI, so you have to go back to LM Studio first, and then you want to make sure that you have the Gemma 4 model on LM Studio. And I think there are a few things that I need to mention. So there are only two variations of Gemma 4 that actually comes with the audio understanding feature, and that is Gemma 4 E2B or 2 billion parameters, and also Gemma 4 with 4 billion parameters. You can use any of them, but the audio understanding feature is not present on the 26 billion and also the 31 billion parameters version of this generation. So make sure to use this or maybe this one. And regarding the quantization or compression, it's up to you. It's up to your machine capability, but I think Q4 should be the sweet balance for most people. So after you have downloaded the appropriate model on LM Studio, you can close this search window and then navigate to developer, enable the server, and you want to load the Gemma 4 model. So I'm going to load the Gemma 4 model, and by the way, I recommend to enable manually choose model load parameters, and then after that, you want to adjust various settings. Like in this case, I'll use the Q4KM quantization. And when it comes to the context length, I think it is a good idea to provide good enough context length. And in this case, I have no problem to actually use the maximum context length because after all, I'm going to upload somewhat big audio file. It's from a very long interview. So I'm going to maximize my context window or context length. So you can adjust various settings, but usually the default settings are good enough. You can click load model, and after that you can minimize LM Studio and go back to OpenWebUI. So to connect the model to OpenWebUI, you can navigate to your profile and then go to admin panel, Now go to settings and then go to connections. So under OpenAI API, you want to add a new connection. So you have to enter this URL as the base URL. So this is the base URL for LM Studio. So localhost 1234/v1, and you don't have to enter any other values, just that URL. Click save. Okay, let me just close this, and I guess I'm going to click save again just to be sure. Now let me just go back to the main screen, and there you go. Now I got all of my LM Studio models in Open Web UI. So let me select Gemma 4 E4B, that is the one that I want to use, and you can just upload your files normally into this chat area. So I'll just drag and drop my audio file. So this is basically just the audio that I got from this interview. This is an amazing interview between the guy from 2 Minutes Paper and also the co-founder of Google DeepMind, Demis Hassabis. It was an interesting interview, although I don't understand most of it because it's just very complicated, but basically it's a very good interview. Now I want to see if Gemma 4 can actually extract the information from that video or this audio file. Now one thing that I noticed about this particular process is that it's unusually very slow. It's only 6 megabytes, and also we are not like uploading a file somewhere to the cloud. It is local, but it's just very slow. So just be patient during this upload process. Okay, so the audio file has been uploaded, and I actually just picked a different audio, the wrong audio file, but now this is the correct one. Now for the prompt, I will use something like please summarize this interview into a single short paragraph and a 5-point bullet list format. Okay, so that's going to be my prompt, and let me just send the query and just wait for Gemma 4 to start generating the answer based on the input. Now to verify that it is actually running, you can see the status on the developer menu on LM Studio. If it is generating tokens like this, then it means that the model is working and now it is connected well with Open Web UI. Okay, so we got the answer. So this is a conversation between the 2 Minute Papers and also the co-founder of Google DeepMind. Okay, I think it is very much accurate. It is talking about a lot of things in AI like AlphaFold and also video games, AI development, and there is also like the fine-tuned version of Gemini that is designed for doing some science work. So yeah, it is very much accurate, and you can use this to get the summary or actionable points based on your podcast, your interview, your meetings, for example. Those are some use cases of this Gemma 4 models. But given that it is able to understand the context or the information in the audio file, the question is, can you actually use Gemma 4 to transcribe the audio? Well, it's not. So let me give you one example. This is my attempt to transcribe my previous video that I published on this channel. So as you can see, it is not even giving me the full transcription. I think it's not designed for that for some reason, so it's not going to give you the full transcription. And also it is really bad. It's not very accurate. So on my video, I mentioned something like a model called Claude Sonnet 4.6 from Anthropic, and it says Cloud Zone Net 4.6. Now, to be fair, my English pronunciation is really bad, but if this is not a good transcription, and also even for something as simple as the Gemini model, like in this case I mentioned Gemini, but the transcription says Gemini 3.5 flash, and there are other things that it got it wrong, like LM Studio became LMS Studio, and I think I don't want to use this model for audio transcription. So it is purely for audio understanding. It knows what's going on in the audio. It knows even, the background noise or music. It knows that, but it cannot be used for transcription. But if you really want to use a local AI for audio transcription, accurate audio transcription, then right now the easiest and fastest option is by using an app called Buzz. You can search that on Google and you will find a page from GitHub. So this is the official GitHub page of Buzz, and of course it is just one click install. Just download the installer and then install it on your computer, and then you can run some models like Whisper. There's also a variant of faster whispers, and I would say the app is also quite intuitive. Now there are other options that actually better than Whisper, but Whisper has a very mature ecosystem. It is being supported by plenty of developers, plenty of apps. So because of that, we can get this nice app called Buzz, and I actually have made a video about how you can use this app to transcribe videos and also audio files using the local Whisper models. I'm going to provide the link of that video in the description in case you are interested. So that concludes everything. That's basically how you can utilize the audio understanding feature of the Gemma 4 models, especially the 4 billion and the 2 billion version of it. And of course, do not use it for transcription. It is only for audio understanding, as something that was specified in the announcement. So I hope you learned something from this video, and if you want to see other things or use cases about AI, then you can subscribe to this channel, and I'll see you on my future videos. Have a great day.